Hi guys, this is Nelson Rodriguez from KDS We're going to be talking today about how to get the best of your Agile 7.2, how to get it running smoother. The first tip that I'm going to give you guys is the dampeners on the head need to be breaking in. So that means that after 10 flights, I want you to check the main grease for play. So you move it back and forward, supposed to be rigid. After 10 flights, you're gonna have some play if you use just one washer, one thin washer. That's when you build the head brand new. So I recommend you guys to put just one washer. It's gonna be smooth, it's gonna be move freely. So put it around 10 flights, and after that, you can put a second. You're gonna feel that you're gonna have some play on the main grid back and forward. So put a second thin washer, and it's gonna get rid of that play. The dampers need to be breaking in, and that's how you get the best of the head right now in that setup. Hey, I have a couple friends telling me that they hear weird noises on the torque tubes and stuff like that. So basically, what I have a sample here of your torque tube, how it's supposed to have no play. If you see the metal gear here has no play. How you get that? Basically, I've been having issues getting the play out of this gear, and in the rear one, all you gotta do is tie one on one, very very soft, the screws. You tie here a little bit, here a little bit, until you get it tight, and you're gonna press the metal shaft and the gear together to get no play. If you can see here, I have absolute no play on this gear. Usually when you spool up the helicopter and you hear a bearing noise, it's gonna be this gear or the rear one just hitting in this case here, or in the bearing block on front. That's how you get rid of those noises. The second thing that can give you noises is that this gear is too tight on the crown gear. Basically, to get the best match, all you gotta do, in my personal opinion, is to loose here the nuts, the 8 nuts in both sides, the 4 nuts here on the other side, loose, relax the boom. And basically the bearing block too need to be relaxed. So you're gonna tie this as if it's like when you tie a motor mount that needs to be loose but not really tight. That way you can move it, but it's not easy to move. That way you can get the best mesh out of your metal gear. And first we're gonna start here. We're gonna put the Agile on the side here. As you can see here in the bottom, let me grab my screwdriver. I have a little washer there. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I have, the manual recommends a 0.5 millimeter washer here. In my case, I use a 1 millimeter. Why? I want to have my secondary step down completely aligned with the main gear. If you see here, it's perfectly aligned in top and in the bottom. So basically, you're gonna start finding the washer that you need. Usually the kit comes with a 0.5 millimeter and an extra millimeter washer. So you can have, you can use one of them, depends on your mesh. So basically you're gonna concentrate on having the best mesh here and use the right washer. The washer can't have any play, need to be tight. That way when you pull your head down, your main gear is completely aligned and you have the right washer here. After you get the right washer, you're gonna tie the red colors, all right? One down, well, you're gonna pull down your head and tie the bottom color first and the top one after that. And now we're gonna concentrate on basically having the best mesh out of your torque tube. First thing, after that, you're gonna relax these 4 nuts here. Relax your boom. You're gonna look here that your mesh need to be, that gear here need to be, the tooths need to be completely in. All right, guys, need to be completely, as you can see here, is completely in the crown gear. It's very important. Why? If it's loose to loose, you're gonna chip the top tooths on the crown gear, and that's not good. And that's usually when you do overspeed stuff, you're gonna chip those tooths. So that mesh needs to be perfectly aligned. And how you do that? Very simple. Again, you're gonna relax the 4 nuts there in each side, and the bearing block here for the torque tube. All right, and you're gonna your elevator arm, you're gonna put it up, and that way you can basically test the mesh, check how much distance you have and the play in between the gear, and as you can see here, it's just a little mesh. All right, just a little space in between the crown gear and the metal gear. Just pull up the head, you spin the head a little bit, and you'll be sure you're still having, let me move a little bit the blades here, that you have still having, so you can see I have just a little play, just a little bit of play. How you do that, how you get the best match? Very simple. You're gonna, with these screws here, you can move it up and down a little bit and get the best match out of the torque shaft. And you can move it a little up and down, and you get that, again, relaxing those 4 nuts. And after you move your head and you find the tight spot, you're supposed to have a little bit of play, just a little bit of play. It's like adjusting the mesh on a motor mount. After you get, as you can see here, it's just a little play. Look, my crown gear is completely it's not moving, but I can move my metal gear. I can move it just a little bit. Okay, it's just a little bit of mesh. All right, when you get it there, you can tie your 4 screws, 2 here and 2 on the other side, and double check the mesh. When you double check the mesh, everything is fine. When you spin the head, you basically tied your 8 nuts, 4 here and 4 on the other side for the torque tube. All right, and that's how you get the best mesh, how you adjust the mesh on these helicopters in the 5.5 and in the 7.2. Another tip that I want to give you guys is in the tail. Very, very important. No play. Okay, guys, no play back and forth in the shaft. It's very, very important. You don't have any play. If you do overspeed maneuvers, that gear is supposed to have no play, period, no play. And all you gotta do is press here, lose this collar, press here, and move the collar out and tie it back. And that should be rid of the play. A couple guys asking me questions about the tail fin vibrating in flight. This normal is a big tail fin. In the 5.5, it's around, it's the same from a 700 size helicopter tail fin. So if as you can see here, it's flimsy. It's large and it's open, so it's gonna flex. That's normal. If you guys want to have peace of mind, all you gotta do is to verify for vibrations is removing the tail blades, removing the main blades, and spool up the helicopter in your house, right? Be very careful, this is dangerous. So you're gonna put your hand here in the torque tube and feel if you have any vibrations in the torque tube. If you're getting vibrations, all you gotta do is double check the bearings are glued in the right spot on your torque tube shaft. That's the only way that you're gonna have vibrations, or that this shaft here has some play. That's the only way. You here in the tail, you're gonna have some vibrations. All right, if you don't have any vibrations here, you're gonna check vibrations in your frame. The only way you're gonna have vibrations is your collars are loose, or it's some kind of play in the head or whatever. And in a brand new build, you don't gonna have that play. That's how you check pretty much and you can have peace of mind that you don't have any bad vibrations. And if you see, if you put like 2500, 2600 in the 5.5, you're gonna see this thing vibrating a little bit. That's fine. As you can see here, I can flex it by hand, But again, to have peace of mind, remove all your blades, pull up the helicopter, and be sure that you don't have any kind of vibrations. All right. In the 7.2, the same. You're gonna have the fin a little bit moving. That's normal. Again, try that, and you're gonna have peace of mind. All right. We're gonna talk now about my 5.5. All right. I have a 12S setup on my 5.5. As you can see here, I'm running the 7.2 motor on the 5.5. Beautiful setup with 3300 packs, 553 size main blades. The best tip that I can give you guys for a 12S setup, again, your mesh here, the alignment need to be perfect. The secondary step down shaft need to be, that gear need to be aligned with the main gear perfectly. How you do that? Again, I have a 1mm washer on my 5.5 to get the best alignment. All right, the manual state you need a 0.5 millimeter. That's fine if you get the alignment. You know, usually I basically the kit comes with couple different washers. So I use the one that give me the best alignment here, and I start from there. Again, you tie your red quarters, and that washer is supposed to have no play. You need to pull your head down and tie the quarters here, the red quarters, and you're supposed to have the perfect mesh and no play up and down in the head. All right, that's very important in the 5.5 with the 12S setup. And after that, you should be fine. The 5.5 uses a tight belt too. Very, it's tight, but you have a little flex because it's a plastic pulley. So if I super tight the belt, you can basically melt. The heat is gonna be transferred to the plastic pulley, and it's gonna be melted. So be careful with that. You need to have a tight belt, but not too tight. The 7.2 usually use a tighter belt, And all right, guys, this is my tips here. Nelson Rodriguez from KDSModelsusa.com. I hope this helped you guys. Any questions, you can send me an email on my website, nail3d.com. I'm gonna be more than happy to help you guys out. Okay, have a good day.